So, what I want to talk about tonight is having fun with your business, but us supporting each other. And how do you win? Is you win when we become a team. I played football a lot of years, from very young all the way into college. And we had to play as a team. And you had a first, second, and third string team, the guys that really went all in. And when you left game day or practice day, your uniform was the dirtiest out there, and you got all in, but you had to mentally condition to play at that level. You had to mentally condition to get the scholarships. You had to mentally condition to execute your position at the best of your abilities. That's what it takes, but we have to do this as a team. Reach one, teach one. And you always lending your hope to other people, giving them a handout. I don't believe in handouts. I believe in hand ups. And I believe in helping groom the people you bring into your team, grooming them for leadership. Some people it takes longer. Now, I'm not a driver like some people, and some people get tired of all that demanding what you're going to do for me because they're worried about their money. In 24 years, I've never worried about my money. It's not about me, it's about you. And therefore, I want to help everybody at your level as we coach you into that leadership. That's why you don't do drivers. You do people that you care about them. And I want to find out what your why is. Like most everybody here, I know what your why is. And so that I consistently confront you with your why. And are you doing the necessary things for your why? For me, my why was, well, I was gone all the time away from my two little girls. I was sick of it. I'm just a farm boy from the mountains of Virginia. And I've been with my wife going on 47 years. I'm missing being with her because we have so much fun. And that's why I left the bank to do this. And God knew that something was going to happen. I got sick because I was under so much pressure and so much stress with my job. It created a tumor in my brain. And I had to go through 9 months of chemo and radiation. Then they gave me 6 months to live because I went from 258 to almost 800 pounds. And they told me it was over. I wasn't going to make it. All I've done differently is utilize this product line, but I gained my freedom. And since then, I've lost every bit of the weight. It's all gone. I'm back down to 212. I think I said that earlier, where I was almost 800. My waist size went from 77 to 32. I'm not saying that to brag, and I've worked at it. I work out almost every day because that's something I love to do. That's just like my thing. But what I want to do is teach other people what do you really want, and what are you willing to do to get there. It's not, if you understand compound, the more you get into something, the more people you help, the hand up, those efforts begin to compound forward. And it's like compound interest. If you understand how compounding moves forward and it gets to stack on each other, that's how this business will do. And you do it one person at a time, because that one person knows somebody that if you have the willingness to pick up the phone or whatever your contact method is, and to let them know you care what you got, but here's how you're going to get it done. All you heard tonight is a couple guys share their story, and Kevin and I are the same age. Well, actually, I'll be 63 here next month. Kevin's right behind me. And so we just shared our stories, the story of how we went out and conquered what we had going on. So a lot of people want to just give up and tap out and die and quit when it gets hard. When it gets hard, you're being tested to create a testimony. And once you create a testimony, that testimony is being created through you, by you, because there's somebody else that needs you to show up that me, Kevin, or Rachel couldn't. We can't get their attention, but you can. As you share your story, you do it with conviction and passion because you're excited, because you won, because you got committed to a process that made you healthier, a process that started to create an income. And those run a strict parallel with each other, but you have to have the willingness to share your story on a consistent basis. And when you share, every time I get an opportunity to talk about it, if I'm at a gas station, a grocery store, at a church, on a Zoom, on a call, I'm sharing my story. You do know why? Because so many people need to hear it. They need somebody to show up to give them hope. And that's all you do. You become a hope broker, a professional shares person, not a salesperson. People hate salespeople. But when you share matters of fact in your story to other people, they want what you got. Like a lady this afternoon, and I was at a particular place, had a chance to share my story. She wanted my website like right now. She's already went in and become a customer. I had no idea who this lady was. I just randomly met her at a store. But always be prepared. See, it's no longer bricks and mortar, it's click and order. But be prepared to share your story at a moment's notice and find out what they need. And then I made an offering tour, and it was just skinny brew coffee and drop 30 with the super greens. And I said, that's done an enormous job for me. But here's how I've won. I've never not ran an auto ship. I've never not ordered the products I need every month because I am valuable. Because if I'm not valuable, that affects my wife and my kids, my little granddaughter. And my accountant told me last week, he said, for the money you saved on not going out to eat and for your grocery bills, you've actually made money by getting the weight off. I said, you think? He said, yeah. And so this is an investment that will give you a return in so many different ways, but you cannot put any value more valuable than you are in your physical well-being. If this hadn't happened to me in the last couple decades, I couldn't be here with this kind of confidence talking to you about something that I know works. Most people want it to work in 3 or 4 days or a week. You didn't get big as hell in a week. You didn't get sick in a week. But over the course of time, this will work and get you right back in balance. It'll take you to your leanest point. Now I'm going to tell you something some of you don't know. As y'all know, we've acquired another company. And now you can get your blood work done and it'll tell you exactly. It's a medical company, and you can get exactly what you need in your body. That one thing that you're missing, and the one thing that you're missing is the thing that's going to keep you your healthiest and well. I get my blood work back tomorrow or Wednesday. Well, tomorrow is Wednesday, and I'll know exactly what I'm missing. And all you need to live. Here's a card they sent me, and I'm going to read this one excerpt to you. This just isn't a membership. It's the first step in unlocking your 100-year potentials. How many of you want to have a potential to put a 2 in the chat if you want to have a potential to live very healthy into your hundreds? It works, ain't playing. Right here it is. And they give you every marker in a human body. And I was even told that it also hit every marker for the 50 cancers that's prone to human beings. Whether you're predetermined to get it, you might have it, or it's just the beginning of it. But they can also give you a solution of what you're lacking in your body to get rid of it. And you know what? I'm beyond crazy excited to get my blood work back and let Dr. Burns go over it with me as the other doctors, because they didn't do my little 20 markers that they did at my physical. They did them all. And it's very inexpensive to get all of it done for the entire year. Now you know spot on what you exactly need if you want to get rid of fat, if you want to get healthy, you want to build muscle, you want to lower the cortisol. There is no guesswork now. We've taken all the guesswork to get you exactly what you need, not what you think you need. And when you can do that by your own biomarkers, I think it's the smartest thing that Mark's ever done. And I can tell you one thing, now you're going to be spot on. Can't nobody in our industry touch us at this point. And not saying it to brag. I don't want nobody to be sick like I was. So if you have the willingness to help somebody else by sharing something that's worked for you, you know that's exactly what you needed. But it don't work for you if you don't do it. If you don't take it, or you just play with it, or you create this like a hobby, that's all you got is a hobby. But if you really want to get serious about getting your health really in line to your leanest point, and I'm going to just throw it out there, become a millionaire, you can do that too. Actually, you can do it much quicker than the rest of us done it. And I can tell you, once you do that, you're going to start to expect more things. So you got to get your mind right. And one thing you can't listen to is a bunch of crybaby quitting people that have never done it. They get close and it got too hard and they quit. Most of that is going to be in your family. God knows. I got some in-laws and from my sisters and brother-in-laws, they hate me because I done it. And I don't let nothing stand in my way. I don't punch clocks. They do. And I'm not saying that to brag or talk no junk about nobody. Everybody has the same opportunity. It's what are you going to do with it? Are you going to make excuses? Are you going to wait till Friday and see what the deal is? You're going to wait till Monday. It's November. You're going to wait till the 26th, January the 1st. 26 starts now. If you really want your life to change, you probably said it in 25. Has it changed? If you're serious about your life changing in 26, we're going to start now. But see, you're not by yourself. We're coming after us like a bunch of crazy warriors, like a bunch of alpha wolves. Go read about the wolf. You don't play with them guys because they don't play. They're very serious about protecting the brand, protecting the pack, and going and get what they want. And when you help enough other people get what they want by lending your story and giving them your hope, the hand up, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get everything you want and more. But so are the people you're helping. You can't continue to procrastinate and wait. None of us knows if we're going to wake up tomorrow. But if you do wake up tomorrow, the first thing you should be doing is grateful that you've done it. And you want to wake up every morning more healthy, more healthy. And if you keep putting it off one day, you don't wake up. What has got my attention most is my father had kidney failure due to diabetes. I had to sit with him 37 consecutive days in the hospital. I didn't leave him. Then he went on life support. And I had to be the one to make the decision to unplug him. My father was my hero. I'm not going out like that. My daughters, I'm not saying he didn't love us because he was my best friend in the world other than my wife. But my daughters are not going to have to make that decision because I didn't give it everything I've got to take care of me. Got off all my medications. Hadn't had any meds in, well, going on 22 years. 7th of next month. Don't plan on starting today. And everything we can do to make it better, like getting your biomarkers, getting on the right things, getting your health in line, get moving, get all in to where you're going. You can't just put your foot in the water. Get all in. And once you get all in, you know what's going to happen? The dynamics of your life is going to change. The dynamics of your financial history is over. You start to create history. You start to make the history. You stop watching the news. You start to make the news. And they're going to start to look at you and say, what are you doing? And you're able to share that story because why? You're proof positive that everything here works. Do you know how I know? Because here I am 24 years later. I'm proof positive with lots of before and afters, physically and financially, that what we have works. All it takes is just getting committed. I call it riding for the brand. You're going to ride for somebody's brand. You're going to ride with the quitters, and they'll keep quitting and quitting. They'll make excuses, and they figured it all out. And well, that's cool. If that herd goes to the left, I'm going to the right. I don't follow those. They end up in the slaughter pen. I don't do that. And when you make up your mind, it's kind of like being with the same girl 47 years. Has it been easy? Not for her, it ain't, because she lives with me. And she took care of me while I was sick. But we still together. We still date night. We still do all that crazy stuff. Even makes my daughters go, "Oh, daddy." I said, but that's your mama. That's how you got here. We had the Eagles concert, private concert the other night. Me and my wife, I danced till my knees is hurting, Kevin. I don't dance. I got two big left feet. But having fun with my wife out there, that set the tone for my daughters and my granddaughter. That we still madly in love with each other. And you know what? Ain't nothing better in this world. I was in Dallas. Kevin, you and I were in Dallas, 3 years ago? Yeah.
Let me unmute. Yes.
Yeah. And
2 years ago.
2 years ago. We were in Dallas 2 years ago, and we was at an event, and I'm on the phone with the airline because I want to get a red eye out of here. And the little girls asked me from another country, "Well, you going to leave tomorrow?" I said, "Y'all don't understand. I'm finished here. If I can wake up in the morning and just hold my wife's hand, that's enough for me right there. So I'm getting the hell out of here." Kevin, what, an hour later, they sent my ride over and took me straight to the airport. We gone.
That's about it. Miss Hadley was calling for her papa.
Yeah, she needed Papa to come home, my granddaughter. And you know what? When you make it about not about you, but about other people, and make it about the most important people in your life, you have no problem sharing where you do your social media, where you're picking up the phone, calling. I do it all. And I meet people I've never seen before, and I'll create this conversation in a second because somebody needs you to show up to give them some hope. And once you start to show up and give them hope, I don't care if I don't get anything, and I do the posting on social media. I'm gonna post 5, 6 times a day. I don't give a rat's back in where I got any clicks or likes, but I'm gonna tell you what's been happening here lately. There's people that's messaging me privately. We need to know what you're doing. They ain't saying nothing on my post. But you know why they're messaging me? Because all the years in, they trust that what we're putting out there, we've been consistent over the years. We're still consistent now. We're consistent. We're consistent. I'm going to show up every single day. It's kind of like if you watch TV, which I don't do no more, when the same people share, like Metformin, they give you 30 commercials in 2 hours, and then they go through at the bottom and they start talking real quick about how it's going to kill you. Yeah, that's the last I remember of it. When you get that consistent with what you got because you're excited and you're proud of your story, you're the only one with the pen in your hand that's going to write the ending to your story. I need to ask him, we're going to finish. How do you want your story to be? You want it to be mediocre and just average like everybody else? Or do you want to write a blockbuster? You want to have people fighting over getting the tickets to see your movie that you just wrote. They want to hear your story because it's an impactful story that gives people hope and vigor to go after their own story. You don't want to end up in the richest place in the earth. Y'all know what that is? Anybody know what the richest place on earth is? It's a graveyard. That's where all the songs that Deacon wrote got buried. That's where all the dreams got buried. All the cures for all kinds of diseases got buried because they were so worried about what somebody else is thinking. Ain't nobody think about none of us. They think about themselves. But when you get their attention with your story, you're showing proof positive that what you do works. And so the day your father's sperm hit your mother's egg was not an accident. You was nothing more than a fertilized egg going down your mother's fallopian tube, and God Almighty tossed in your greatness, your gifts, everything that you need. You would not be on this earth if you wasn't intended to be here. You're here for a reason, a plan, and a purpose. The day you were birthed into a blueprint. That's called this thing called life. And as you grew in the course of time to an adult, you're starting to create that story. And now you got to go into your heart and take the ribbon off the box, the bow off the top, open the box up, and there's where all your gifts are. And we're scared to share our gifts with other people, which was intended to do before the foundation of the world. And when you start to share them, you become a person of impact. And when you start to impact people on that next level, you'll stop making excuses of why you can't get it done. You'll stop making excuses why you can't get your health in line. You'll stop making excuses about everything because you're going to go live life on a whole nother level, the way you were intended to live this life. There was nobody put here to be sick, poor, nor broke. That is a learned behavior through your school systems and your government. And I'm not political. I actually don't care because I rarely participate in anything they got going on. And you know what? When you make up your mind that you're worth it, you're going to get it. And why are you worth it? Because when you're like me and you look at this great woman I've got, the daughters, the granddaughter, and some of my best friends in the world, and the things we get to do together, you deserve to get to do that too. Go look at your why. My why is with my 4 girls. Start to share that big dream with them of what we're going to do in 26. And we're going to start today. And we're going to go after it harder than we ever. I don't give a rat's ass who said no and who don't, who doubts me. That's not on me. All my job was to share it. And when you create that big dream, I'm going to tell you what your children will do to you. My little girls did it to me. But Daddy, you said, Daddy, you said, you got to honor your word to your children. Nothing here can stop you from becoming the first millionaire in your family. Nothing. Nothing except you. It don't matter how many people stay, how many people go, how many come, how many don't. It's up to you. And that's all I have for tonight, Rachel. You got anything to add to it, honey? Kevin, you got anything to add?
No, brother, I'm good.
All right. Anybody else got anything you just want to say and add or ask a question?
I'm just excited to join you with getting the blood work done. So we're doing that as a family. I
Yeah.
shared that with you this morning.
Absolutely. All right. Does anybody got anything you'd just like to add to it or say? All right, guys. I want you to know something from my heart. I love you. You matter to me. And until tomorrow, make this the best evening you've ever had. And I will be sharing some new things that I just got from John and Peter and Mark shortly, or just a few minutes ago, some things we're starting. It's going to take you and your family to levels that you never even dreamed of. So get your mind prepared, get your heart right, and get all in. Good night, everyone.
See you, boss.
Good night.